In this video, we're going to look at ScreenMeet's integration into ServiceNow and how it supports the Service Operations Workspace. We're going to be working from an incident, but ScreenMeet can be added to any record in ServiceNow. So an interaction, a call, a task, a work order, and ScreenMeet will reside over here in the contextual panel. Access to ScreenMeet is determined by roles that you assign to your users in ServiceNow, and authentication is done through ServiceNow. So the agent, if they have the role, they won't need to log into ScreenMeet. It will automatically be done here. So in this example, we're going to look at an incident that has been raised by Julie Lewis. She's having some issues with the VPN. So the agent has determined he's going to do a remote support session to Julie's machine. So to start the session, we click on Remote Support. I have some options here as to how I would like that session to start. These features can be set to be enabled by default or disabled by default. And here we're going to start with Remote Control, Admin, and record the session as well. So when I create the session, this gives me some pieces of information that I need to get over to Julie. So depending on how Julie has engaged with the help desk, if it's a verbal dialogue, so if she's phoned in, I can send Julie to a URL where she enters that PIN. If it's a digital engagement, I can send that link through. So Julie's actually raised this through the service portal. So I'm going to post that link back to the service portal for Julie. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Julie's perspective. So here you'll see a link that Julie can click on to join the session. And typically for internal support, our customers deploy an MSI to their desktops. And so in that example, if Julie clicks on the link, it will execute that MSI. If it's a verbal dialogue, they can click on the shortcut and enter the PIN number to join the session. If the MSI hasn't deployed, then a small on-demand download will occur and the end user will join the session. During the session, the end user will be prompted with information that the agent's going to be able to see the screen. And in this example, they're going to be notified that I'm recording the session. When I click on allow, the agent will be able to join the session. Now let's switch back to our agent view. And now that Julie's joined the session, you'll see that the ScreenMeet component has turned into a view screen. The agent clicks on view screen, it opens a browser, it's purely browser based for them, and now they have full remote control of this session. On the right hand side here is the agent toolbar. We'll call out a couple of key things on here. First of all, the Windows tools. ScreenMeet supports Windows, Mac, Linux, and mobile devices as well. And obviously this menu will reflect the operating system of the device that we're connected to. In summary, this is a great way for agents to execute commands quickly. Also, you'll notice some of these icons have a shield in the top corner. Means if they launch from here, regardless of what Julie's logged into her Windows system as, these functions will launch with administrative privileges. There are options in here to reboot the machine, open registry editor, pretty much anything that you would find through the Windows menu. You can also run scripts as well from within here. Some other key features in here, ScreenMeet enables you to invite other agents into the session. So if you're a level 1 agent and you need to bring in level 2 to help you resolve the issue, you can bring them in by simply providing this URL. Or you can bring in subject matter experts and have a swarm on this session. Either way, the agent can bring in the resource they need to resolve Julie's issue on that first contact. We capture system information of the device we're connected to. This will be captured back into the ServiceNow incident. There are options for file transfer. File transfer can be configured to be bidirectional or just agent to Julie or Julie to agent. You can block file extensions and you can even delete the file once the session is over. I have my account to retain a copy of the file. So we'll see an event log in ServiceNow that we did a file transfer and what that file was called, but I'll also be able to access that file directly from the incident as well. I can also grab a screenshot and have that directly uploaded to the incident. That's a really high level overview of the support solution. So I'm going to end that session and we're going to go back into ServiceNow. We capture the events that took place in that session under our related records. So if we go into our ScreenMeet Sessions tab here, you'll see this is the session that we just ran. If I click on that, first of all, you'll see an overview here of when the session started, ended, the OS of the machine we connected to. There's also a link here at the bottom where I can access the recording of that session and the file that I transferred. And I'll come back to that in just a second. Under the related records, we also capture session logs. So this is an event stamp of what took place during the session. So here you'll see I launched the task manager, we did a file transfer, and it was AV scanned and it came back clean. We have that hardware spec of the machine captured back in the incident as well. And I also have an attachment here because I took a screenshot which automatically uploaded to the ServiceNow incident, so I can access that. Let's go back to the recording. So I have my account configured to store recordings and retained file transfers in the cloud. So I can click on that link and it will take me straight to the location of those files. And here, I've got my account configured to be able to download those files, or for the recording, I can view it straight in a player without having to download it. Anybody who has access to that incident and ScreenMeet can access those files. You can control who can access those files, and you can also determine where those files are stored. So I have mine set to be stored in our ScreenMeet cloud, but if you have AWS S3 bucket or Azure Blob storage, then you can store those files directly in your cloud storage and you'd still access them the same way. So this is going to comply with any data requirements you have or geographic requirements you have for storing data. You can also store these files directly in ServiceNow as well. So they can also show up as attachments. So there are options to make sure that you can comply with whatever data requirements your organization has. So ScreenMeet's very simple to use. We find that because we're integrated into this service operations workspace, into ServiceNow, that agents use the remote support solution much more than incumbent products that they've used before, just because it's so easy. There's no need for them to go out to a separate application. There's no need to log into a different desktop console. Everything is done from within the incident. And as you saw, the data's captured there. And because the data's captured there, you can use it in your reports, you can use it for dashboards. Here you'll see an out-of-box dashboard that just shows current activity over a period of time, and also where your sessions are originating from, the device types and OS. So there's some really useful data in ServiceNow that's automatically captured. That's a really high-level view. If you'd like to learn more, please contact us at screenmeet.com.